Well, Camryn, now that it's January, there's some things that we have to talk about.
Maybe we should talk about how frequent we and the whole student body go to the bathroom.
Is that a common thing that they do?
Yes. And you know what another common thing they do?
What?
They go to the PAL Center.
What? What's the PAL Center?
It has a really long name that I heard Miss Wigan say about 30 times this morning, but I cannot remember.
Yes, thank you, Andre. It is the Police Athletic League of the Greater Norristown community. Right. Right. And so you can go there, and they have a lot of cool stuff going on there.
Yes.
Who talked to us about the PAL events? I don't even know.
I don't know either. Maybe Miss Wigan. I feel like I don't know.
I mean, if you said Miss Wigan was talking about it this morning,
It could be her. She was talking about colleges.
that's probably a clue in. Then maybe I have no clue. So maybe the viewers should go watch the segment and figure out some events that they can go participate in the PAL. Let's check it out.
Hello, I'm Thaddeaus Peay, here with the Eagle's Eye, and I'm here with Mr. Ken Fennal. He's the Director of Operations at the Norristown Power Center. Mr. Fennal, how you doing today?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good. So I'm here to talk to you about the annual Martin Luther King Day of Service. So why is it so important to give back on this day?
Community service and giving back is a way that you connect with your community and other individuals like yourself, and it's something that should be instilled because those who came before both of us paved the way so that we can be here today, and we need to do that for those who come after us.
Right. So how has Martin Luther King influenced you personally?
The history of Dr. Martin Luther King influenced not just myself, but the United States as well as the world in terms of the way he approached the segregation and integration over the last 50 years. It's important in terms of what he did individually as what he did collectively with the group that supported him and marched with him and actually were major factors in changing the laws that we abide by right now in 2016.
Right. So why is his legacy so important to us, not only as an African-American community, but as a nation?
Because it's a better way to live your lives in a humane way. His philosophy included, the thought that we should be living together, interacting with each other, regardless of whether we're European Americans, African Americans, Latino Americans, because we have a purpose on life. And our purpose on life is not to be fighting each other, but to be working together for a better society. And part of that, in terms of getting to have a better society, is looking out for those who may not be as advantaged as you and I.
Right. So how did this Martin Luther King Day of Service get started?
It's a national day that it's recognized across the United States, and it was started when I initially became the program director at Greater Norristown PAL in 2009 going to 2010.
Okay.
I started that, and we actually the year before I started, we had about 40 volunteers, and they were all at the PAL Center.
Right.
But as that grew from 135 to 175 to 250 to 350 to more than 600 volunteers,
Wow.
it was apparent that this was not about PAL, this was about the Greater Norristown community.
Yeah.
And so I set out with assistance from my staff in terms of making this a Norristown-wide initiative so that we have had as many as 25 nonprofits and businesses in the borough of Norristown participating that day. They'll set up a project, whatever that project is, depending on their site. So it could be, at the public library in Norristown, cleaning off the books and the shelves. It could be at the Roosevelt School, painting walls. It could be putting together different things at the Willow School. It could be cleaning the parking lots in the borough of Norristown at the police station. The projects vary depending on the actual business entity, but we supply the volunteers. So volunteers will call PAL, they'll email us, they'll go to our website, see our ad, our flyer for the Dr. Martin Luther King Community Day Service, and then they'll contact us and we'll send them to the different sites on that day. We kick it off with a breakfast at 7:30 in the morning. Everything is free, there's no charge. And volunteers have come as far away as Westchester, Widener, Southwest Philadelphia, Temple University, Ambler campus, and all in between. And companies have participated. You've had Vanguard, you've had Johnson Johnson, McNeil employees come and participate. You've had fraternities and sororities like Kappa Alpha Psi, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta sorority at the alumni level come and participate. You've had Perkiomen High School come. So the volunteers are diverse in terms of age, occupation, affiliation, but it's all for the common good to service Norristown specifically.
Right. So why is it so critical for me as a teenager and us as like teenagers to give back to our community at this age that we're at?
Well, there's multiple reasons for someone your age to participate. One, you get to interact with people you've never met before and find out the common thread between the two of you or others that you will interact with. Two, it teaches you, how to be involved in community service while you're working with others who may have more experience in community service and social action. And three, it's part of an experience that not only benefits you in terms of, adding something to your resume as a young person, but it also exposes you to good practices, it exposes you to experiences that you will probably look back and say, I really appreciated getting involved in my first or maybe my second time that I've been involved in community service and social action.
Right. So how can people get involved? Because this program is very amazing, and I might want to get involved as
Absolutely.
well. So
we certainly welcome you.
How can people get involved if they want to?
They can contact the Powell Center directly. Our phone number is 610-278-8040. We are located at 340 Harding Boulevard, Harding Boulevard, Norristown, PA 19401. We are adjacent to the Little League baseball fields. We are diagonally across the street from Roosevelt Football Stadium. We also have our website at greaternorristownpal.org, and we have a Facebook profile page as well. So all of those ways, or all of those media outlets will lead you to our Greater Norristown PAL in terms of volunteering, and we'll have flyers. We'll send anyone who sends us email, we'll send them a flyer detailing what the day is all about and what it will involve in terms of kickoff breakfast and various projects that day.
Okay, all right. So
And that day is January 16th.
January 16th, okay. So how has giving back to the community changed your life?
Well, I've been doing community service and social action individually as well as through my fraternity prior to coming to Greater Norristown PAL. So I've been doing that for 25 years. And for the same reasons I mentioned earlier, that it's a way for me to remember those who opened doors for me, saw something in myself that I didn't see, and they saw the potential. And I would be selfish and disrespecting them if I didn't turn around and do the same for those who come after me. It also gives me opportunity to meet people who have common philosophies about life and giving back. Well, now I'm meeting them, and had I not participated, I may not have ever met them and had these experiences, nor these partnerships that are now in place in my life.
Right, so what other businesses are involved again?
It's various businesses. Companies like Vanguard, McNeil, Johnson Johnson will send their volunteers here. We have colleges and universities, fraternities and sororities at the alumni level who participate. They come, and when they come for the breakfast, then they are disseminated to the various sites in Norristown. We've had, mentioned the Borough of Norristown participate. We've had the Norristown Library participate. We've had the Mental Health Mental Retardation Center participate. The Willow School, Elmwood Park Zoo has participated. We've had Montgomery County Community College students come in and participate. So the participation is multi-leveled and diverse, both in terms of volunteers as well as businesses participating. And with this partnership that we have on that day with all of these different entities, it's the largest partnership event on that day in Montgomery County.
Right, so what age do you recommend that, I guess, like come out?
Well, parents can bring their kids. We certainly recommend first or second grade and above, and certainly high school students like yourself can come on their own without their parents.
Right.
We certainly encourage parents to come out and participate, because if it's a family experience, then it's an experience that the entire family can appreciate
Right.
down the road.
Exactly. So is there anything else you want to add about this great day of service in January?
Yes, just make sure that you contact us in advance so that we can align you with a site, so that way, you know, when you get there, you're not wondering what am I going to do? Is there something for me to do? Because of the level of volunteers we have, 500 to 600 every year, and every year it grows, we want to make sure that we have a connection with the volunteers and a site, so that way there's something to do and participate with.
Right. Well, Mr. Fennal, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate
Thank you so much. Well, I'm Thaddeaus, Peay with the Eagle's Eye. That was Mr. Ken Fennal talking about the Martin Luther King Day of Service. All right, back to our host.